put the y-axis back together, and we're going through some fine adjustments. Lubricated, cleaned everything, put it all back together with all the shields, and I found interference in the back here with that nut. I had to do some filing on this piece of round stock back there to make sure that nut cleared exactly, and it does. A bit of a paper, but it clears. I've got this wood block here bolted to this stand, and then I've put some inserts on the bottom of the wood here, and I've threaded down through the top. They may not be the best, but I'll use them for now, and then I can do something more permanent later if I get this thing where I want it, and then I can do one more tune to it. It won't be so bad. At any rate, it seems to be moving nice and smooth, and I was just getting ready to do a backlash test, but I wanted to rotate this. If you can see, the top screw is right there, and watch the edge of this thing right there. If I make a spot, maybe you can see if it moves or not. Yep, it moves, right? Okay, it moves. Now I'm going to change directions. It seems to move. There's just how much? Let's see. If I put it here, it's a quarter turn. A quarter turn. Not quite a quarter turn. Maybe it's an eighth of a turn. An eighth of a turn. Rotating, rotating, rotating. Now you can see the movements, right? You can see it move when I turn the big rotation. That's a half a rotation. Okay, now I'm going to make a quarter turn. Do it again. You see it move a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to do an eighth turn. Oh. Barely moves. Barely moves. So there's a little bit in there, a little bit of backlash. And I have it pretty snug. These thrust washers are taking a lot of the bend. The roller bearings are taking it. I have a reinforcement block behind it. And I'm thinking this is about as good as I can get it. This piece does not have any wiggle in it whatsoever. So I'm not going to get any movement like that. So I think I'm ready to reassemble the Z. What I wanted to do was put this motor on. And then I realized to lock the couples, I got to come from underneath. And this is on here, so it's a little hard. And this design of this part is not like this. It's like this. And it screws right into there, and it's a blind hole. Then you put the motor on, but you can't see the coupler. But if I put this here, you can see the coupler is going to be right there. So what I'm going to do is drill a hole right in the top of this, just enough to get in there and see that coupler and tighten it once I get the motor installed. I think that's going to make it work for me. Okay, thank you. All right, just at lunchtime, boy, she's got a, even with her foot and her bugs and everything else, she's on it. She's quite an energetic lady. Okay, I guess I'll drill that. I got 5 minutes. I could probably drill it in 5 minutes and then install that and be ready to put the motor on. And then I'll start reassembling the X and see if I can't get that tuned to where I'm happy with how it's working. And then we can do our calibrations and see how well it works. All right. That's it. Big update. The y-axis is reassembled. I'm using powdered graphite for lubricating. All right, I got grocery orders. Okay, grocery orders when I come up. Okay, well, she can't come up and down the stairs, so I have to. That's okay. So I'll leave it for now. Wash up, have lunch, come back, and see what else we can get done this afternoon. Try to get that back. I want to get it all back together and calibrated today. So now I know the machine's going to do what I ask it to do as well as it can, okay, and know the limitations and then account for that. Then I'm going to try to determine how to wire up wire up the switches, set my home calibration, show them the maximum travel, and then say home is dead center. Let's say 000 dead center. If the maximum travel is 40, you go to 20, 50, 25, 130, it goes to something. 65. Okay. Something like that. 62 and a half, whatever. There. And that way I can go home and then center and then offset from that. I should be able to run the thing where I want it, when I want. That's the whole idea. But I had to get this thing. I kind of slapped this together last week and wasn't as careful as I could have been. Okay, that's it. Gotta go. Run later.